Greetings, Rant fans. This is Dr. Edwards, your favorite and so far only lunch and rant podcaster. I'm going to talk about another subject today that is near and dear to my ranty little heart, and that is EMRs or EHRs, which are electronic medical records or electronic health records, whichever way you want to call it. It's the computer stuff we got to do now to take care of you. Some of you may be old enough to remember back in the day, we used to have these things called paper charts, and they were kept in this huge file in your doctor's office. In the military, you would actually carry your paper chart around with you from duty station to duty station because that's all there was. And if you lost it, your record just got lost. Sucks to be you. So a while ago, various and sundry major hospital groups started making things called electronic health records. And the idea behind these is they're going to use them to better track your care and, do statistics and stuff. And that sounds like a great idea. And actually it really is, in principle, a great idea. Here's the problem. Doctors didn't have a whole lot to say about how that was done. And neither did nurses. And is this to an extent our fault? Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, we were too busy, too exploited, too burnt out to participate, and all doctors really want to do for the most part is take care of people. And the more we can isolate ourselves into just taking care of people and put our head in the sand, the happier we all are. Until we get the results of other people trying to figure out what they think we need, or basically not even trying to figure that at all, just doing it for their needs, which in this case for a hospital really comes down to billing, and specifically their billing. They want to make money, so their EHRs are actually designed for billing. And then maybe, we got to meet some Medicare metrics, so we'll also design it to see if we're meeting these metrics of quote-unquote quality and good care. And we'll do it that way, and who cares how it looks on the front end that the user's got to use, because we're going to get our numbers. Here's the problem with that thinking. Problem number one is garbage in, garbage out. So if I'm the user at the front end and you make it extremely difficult for me to use, guess what? I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get the bare minimum so I can get it passed so I can actually do what I need to do for my patient. Now, let me tell you about the great things about EHRs. For one thing, I can look at my labs from anywhere in the hospital, right? The laboratory puts them in. It used to be they'd send me like a little piece of paper and I have to look on, right? That is not the case anymore. Now I just look it up. Additionally, I can look at x-rays whenever I need to. I don't have to actually go over to the radiology suite or have the radiology tech bring me the x-ray to look at. Even better, I can roll through CTs without having to put little pictures up on the light box. You guys have probably seen the light boxes in shows like, Grey's Anatomy probably has them. It used to show up all the time on some of my favorite shows. But yeah, there's a light box and we could look up them. And we could look the records or the x-rays up, which is great. But it's much better to be able to look at them on the computer because I can do that pretty much anywhere. And if I'm on the right screen, I can get a lot of detail and blow things up, and it's pretty nice. Also, I don't have to go anywhere, which means I can take care of more people. And that part's good. I like that part. But then this thing happened, right? So in addition to making these systems so that the hospital could bill and they could track things that they cared about, the ACA, you remember that Healthcare Act that Congress passed back during President Obama's tenure in office, actually mandated that we all have to go to EHRs. Now, here's my problem with that, and I'm going to make it really clear. If they had built a better mousetrap, right? If it was actually better for patient care to go to electronic health records in the regular doctor's office and in many other places, we already would have done that. Because, of course, we want a better mousetrap. We want to take care of patients better. And we really love the fact that we could look up our labs, and we really love the fact that we could look up x-rays. And guess what? We used that. We used the heck out of that. What we don't love is all the buttons that we're now required to push to say, enter labs, right? And whereas charting used to be a simple matter, at least in the emergency department, of circling things on a page and doing a little handwriting, or at worst, maybe dictating some stuff. Now it is a god-awful nightmare of clicking buttons, and I cannot count how many buttons I have to click to order a single set for a patient, but I can tell you to put in orders takes me a bare minimum for a sick patient of roughly 2 to 3 minutes. I don't have 2 to 3 minutes, and it is actually quite prone to error. In order to make it fast, they had to make it click button, so you aren't typing everything in, and that's extremely prone to error. Before, when I used to just circle things on a page, the biggest question that the clerk might have for me is, hey, doc, what did you mean by this? Do you want the CBC or the CMP? And the answer, because I'm an emergency physician, is yes, I want it all. But that was the clerk doing it. And I want you to understand this from a perspective, right? The clerk or the unit secretary or whoever it is paid somewhere around $15 to $20 an hour to do what they do. It takes some education and training. It does take time to make a good clerk. I will tell you that the best clerks and unit secretaries have been there a long time, and they're awesome, and they're extremely important to the running of the department, whatever it may be. But they're not physicians getting paid significantly more money an hour, as they should be, because they've been through a lot of training, and it's a lot of risk, and it's a lot of responsibility. They're not getting paid that money to now do what essentially is the tech or clerk's job. So now, instead of spending that 2 to 3 minutes doing what only I can do, nobody else can do that. I'm now spending that 2 to 3 minutes doing something that the tech, who does not have my years of training, can do. Why does that matter? Because then I can't take my years of training and see another person in the emergency department who has been waiting for me for hours. And I will tell you that my productivity, my ability to see patients rapidly has gone down significantly with EMRs and EHRs when it was supposed to make it faster. But it doesn't, because it's not designed for me. It's designed for the bureaucrats. It's designed for the insurance company. It's designed to take care of Medicare's administrative burdens, which they have pushed off on the hospitals. Even my charting actually is forced into a mold so that it can meet the expectations of the insurance company so we can get paid. And I have to spend extra time on my chart to actually make sure that it's useful for the doctors coming after me who have to take care of the patient. If I wanted to do the bare minimum, there is a type of chart I can do that would be much faster for me once I put in the time and effort to set it up. It'd be much faster, and it's great for billing. It bills like 10 to 15% better than the type of charting I do, which is useful to everybody else in the care system. When I look at these charts, they're not that useful to me, right? They don't help me, but they sure do help billing. And the truth is, if we don't get money, we can't run an emergency department. So long story short, billing trumps patient care. Now, if you don't like that and you think things should be different, stop sending people to Congress who are in the pay of insurance companies, because the entire CARE Act was 100% for the benefit of insurance companies. Because remember how I told you insurance companies weren't working well before the CARE Act, and we decided to fix that problem by just making them bigger, giving them more power. Right? How do you think that happens? Do you think there weren't doctors and nurses going, wait, this isn't working. Wait, this is a problem. Do you think there were healthcare economists who were not going, well, wait, this is not a great model. We can do better. No, there were. Right? But those are not people with the money to literally buy legislators. Because that's how our system works, my friends. That is how it works. If you make a campaign contribution that is large enough, you have bought yourself access to that legislator. Right? When they ask who's on the phone, they don't ask, is it one of my constituents? No, they go, is it a contributor? Oh, it's that one, it's a donor. Oh, I'll talk to him, I'll talk to her, I'll talk to that corporation. That's how our system works. But you, my friends, are actually the ones with the power. You are actually the voters. And so this is what I encourage for you. One, write to your senator, write to your congressman, get involved in your state and county politics. And for Pete's sake, stop sending people to Congress who are in the pockets of the insurance industry. That is all I have to say about that today. I do have a great deal more to say about EHRs, but it does involve a lot of swear words, which I'm trying to avoid. Thank you so much for listening. I really look forward to your comments and questions. And please join us next time on Lunch and Rant. This has been Dr. Edwards. Thank you very much.